I've been a long time football fan, played it in high school and watched it on TV, where since then I have appreciated the sport. And in today's video, I'm taking a look at the Nintendo Switch. Nintendo Switch has many American football games, and I'm going to pick five that are my favorite to play, and I'm going to give the reasons why. You're going to have your favorites, and in the comments below you can let me know what games you like to play on the Switch that are football related. So anyways, thank you. Sit back, relax. Here we go. The Switch offers a variety of arcade style football games, and Football Frenzy is a Neo Geo game that came out in '92, and it's offered by the Hamster Corporation. And this doesn't have real teams. It has arcade gameplay though, and you know what? It's got really colorful graphics. Now the gameplay can vary from game to game, and you know what? Some people may not like the button configuration on the Switch. You can adjust that, but I really enjoy this one. I have a lot of nostalgia with it. You know, I remember playing this in arcades. It was one of the first football games that I really spent some time in the arcades and played. I have the home release as well on the Neo Geo. I enjoy this one. It does get rather challenging with computers. Every team has its advantages, and the instruction manual talks about the advantages of each individual team, one of 10 teams. And so I really did like going back and playing this, and it's a nice opportunity if you don't own a Neo Geo and you want to check this out. A lot of arcade games are offered on the Switch. This one I do believe is $7.99. That's what I paid for it. And you know what? I did like playing this and going back and revisiting an arcade classic. Is it better than some other football games? No, but this is one that I appreciate playing. You can play with a friend. It's simplistic. It's not, you know, bogged down with a bunch of different menus. It's enjoyable. It's got colorful graphics and sprites, and it's a nice throwback to the 90s. And so I do recommend it for people that remember the Neo Geo, or maybe you don't have a Neo Geo and you want to experience kind of a sports classic on it. I like the commentary on it. I like how it zooms in when a play gets close to being completed, whether receiver's catching the ball or you're trying to tackle somebody, it zooms in. I like that. And I think there's going to be many people that will like this. It's a thumbs up for me, and I do recommend playing it. Well, maybe you're more of a Techmobile fan, and lucky for you, the Switch has the arcade release offered on it, and here it is. And a lot of people may not know a lot about this, or maybe you grew up with the NES version, but you know what? The arcade version is very different than the NES release. First and foremost, the graphics are way more colorful, looking more advanced than the NES counterpart, and it's got a cool aspect ratio. There's some cool options in the menu screen, but you know what, I remember playing Techmobile. I didn't necessarily grow up with this arcade release as it wasn't in my area, but I did experience it as a young adult in college, and I really appreciated it. But you know what, Techmobile Arcade is a great experience. Now it has different play options. You can either pass or throw. There's no like play options when you start on offense. You can choose different characters on offense and defense to pass or to throw to or to play. And you know, I really like this. And you can break tackles. You know, it's got a cool aspect ratio, as I mentioned. It was really a cool arcade machine to look at, but it's all presented here. And for people that want to just experience a fun arcade style game, it doesn't have realistic teams. You know, this is just a fun one to play with a friend. You know, you can break tackles. You know what? This is just football at its simplistic aspect, just to pick up and play. You don't need necessarily a complicated understanding of the game to appreciate it. This is one that I think would appeal to a lot of people, especially people that may not be totally into football, to just want to play a cool arcade game. I highly recommend this, and it is another game for $7.99. Next up is Techmobile, which is offered on the Nintendo Switch Online service, and there are some differences of this release versus the one you probably grew up with. Now, the players' names have been removed. It's still fun to play. It is based, I do believe, off the Japanese ROM. But you know what? You can still have a lot of fun with this. And so, if you have access to Nintendo Switch Online, this is a fun one to play. It's different than the arcade counterpart. You have run and pass plays. You know what? It's not associated with the NFL, but you know what? You can still sit back, throw long bombs, or get intercepted, just like the original release. Now, I prefer Tecmo Super Bowl. You know what? I do think that's a better game, and I like all the mods that are connected to that. But if you want to play the original NES Classic, you can try it here, or play the original ROM release, as it'll have the players' names. You know, Bo Jackson comes to mind. He would just destroy defenses with his amazing runs. Amazing player, by the way. And you know what? You can go and play this, though. And so it's not the best football game, but I have a lot of nostalgia connected to it, as it got me into playing home football sports games. It is a classic. It's not the best, but you may want to check it out here, as the price is right. If you want a little more substance with your football game, but you not necessarily want something fully realistic, look no further than Mutant Football League. I have the Dynasty Edition. I have the physical release that has all the DLC, and it includes exclusive teams and arenas. And so this is a fun game, especially if you remember Mutant League Football on the Sega Genesis, done by the same creator. And you know what? This is just a fantastic option. I really enjoy this one. It's a little different, but you know what? If you just want the fun, exhilarating action of a football-like game, it has, you know, nods to realistic players and realistic teams, but very different. It is fairly violent. This is definitely an M-rated game, but I have enjoyed playing this and going back and revisiting this. Definitely want to. Lots of different modes too. There's a dynasty mode with multiple seasons with one team. I think that's awesome. There's reserves, there's special plays. A lot of the things that made the iconic original awesome are in this updated game. And you know what? I think it's a great addition to the Switch. Probably my favorite football game on the Switch. It's a must-play for me, and you may enjoy playing it. Next up is Retro Bowl, and this is offered on mobile as well as Switch. And you know what? I didn't know what to think about this. It's only $5, and you can choose your favorite team. It has some sim aspects to it, but not too much. You can handle the front office. You can control, a stadium, manage a team. Lots of different options here. So it's not just a game, a football game to play, football-like. But you can choose everything from salary caps, training facilities, rehab facilities, and as you play with your team, you can add options to it and adjust it. Now, the weird thing about this game is you're only on offense, so you don't play defense. I thought that was a little strange. But once you get accustomed to the gameplay, I think there's a lot here to appreciate. And you know what? I heard a lot of good things about this, so finally wanted to jump in. Each offensive play, you can choose to run or pass. And you know what? And there's just a lot here for people that maybe aren't huge football fans but want to get their fix. It's a great game to play, 20 minutes or so. Games are pretty fast. There's lots of different options here. So if you want a game that has a lot of throwback to, Tecmo Super Bowl, you're going to be right at home here. Is it fully realistic? No. Is it enjoyable? Yes. I found myself kind of coming back to this. You can choose your favorite team, and manage players and stuff. What's good. It's fun, especially for that $5 price point. I think of all the games I've shown here today, this is a good value option and a nod to retro, but with some modern features. I think it's great, especially if you just want some classic gridiron action and not necessarily looking for something realistic. It gets a thumbs up for me, and definitely one of the top 5 for the Switch to play. Those are my 5 picks. What did you think? In the comments, let me know, and I want to thank everybody for coming to my channel and looking forward to offering a wide variety of videos. I wanted to do this video for a while, and you know what? It's kind of fun to go and search through because the Switch library is huge, and there's other football games that I didn't mention. These are the ones I have experience with, the ones I purchased, the ones that were in my library, so I thought I'd do a video on it. Thank you so much. If you like what you see, consider hitting that like and subscribe button and clicking the bell as I'm uploading videos every week. You folks are wonderful and beautiful. Let's keep it positive. Let's see Mortal John Hancock, and you take care.